Hello dear students. In previous we have studied some basic power semiconductor devices, that is diodes, transistors and thyristors. Then we have studied the families of semiconductor devices which comes under transistors and thyristors, that is IGBTs, MOSFETs, MTOs, ETOs, etc. Now in this section we are going to study power flow control. So it is powerful flow control in AC system. Basically in this point we have to study how we can control active power and reactive power. So the power system operator has following means to control system power flows. First, prime mover and excitation controls of generator. So you can directly control the power by controlling the excitation of generators by means of prime mover. Second, switching of shunt capacitor banks, shunt reactors, and static war system. We have studied that by using the capacitors, we can control the power. That is, we can control the voltage as well as current. If we connect this system in parallel, it will control the current, and if the current is varied by keeping the voltage constant, we can easily change the power, or we can change the voltage by keeping the current constant. Ultimately we can change the power. So the first method is by controlling the excitation of generator, and second method is by connecting capacitors in shunt, that is in parallel, shunt reactor, and static war system, that is nothing but statcom, dstatcom, etc. Third, control of tap changing and regulating transformer. This is basic method to control the power flow, that is we can step up the voltage and step down the voltage by using transformers. And last, or we can say that by fax technology. Fax technology is nothing but by use of power semiconductor devices. Okay, so if you consider a simple example or simple generator model operating under balanced steady state condition, and if we draw that generator model using Thevenin's equivalent circuit diagram of round rotor synchronous machine connected to infinite bus, which is as shown in figure. If V is the generator terminal voltage, E is the excitation, del is the power angle, and X is positive sequence synchronous reactance, that is reactance of synchronous machine or generator. We already know that sequence network, that is positive sequence, negative sequence and zero sequence. When we have to plot the sequence network, by considering the positive sequence network, we have to consider the terminal voltage or input voltage with respect to some angle. So the generator is generating E voltage, or the excitation of generator is generated by E, and the angle or the power angle is generated by del. V is the terminal voltage or output voltage of the generator, and the windings denotes the reactance, or windings are represented by its reactance. We are going to consider only positive sequence reactance. So if we plot the power equation using these terminologies or parameters, then the active power is denoted by P is equal to E into V divided by X multiplied by sin del, and reactive power is equal to V divided by X into E cos del minus V. So the active power equation shows that active power P increases when power angle del increases. From an operational point of view, when the operator increases the output of prime mover to the generator while holding the excitation voltage constant. The rotor speed increases. As the rotor speed increases, the power angle increases, and if power angle increases, active power also increases. So as the rotor speed increases, power angle del also increases, causing an increasing generator active power, that is P. There is also a decrease in reactive power Q given by reactive power equation. That is, when we increases the excitation, power angle del increases. Power angle del increases, that is means the speed of the generator increases, and due to which active power increases. Simultaneously, the reactive power from the system decreases. However, when del is less than 15 degrees, the increase in active power is much larger than the decrease in reactive power. From the power flow point of view, an increase in prime mover power corresponds to increase in active power at constant voltage bus to which the generator is connected. A power flow program will compute the increase in power angle del along with the small change in reactive power. The reactive power equation demonstrates that the reactive power output Q increases when the excitation voltage E increases. So there are two methods to control the power flow in the AC system, that is active power and reactive power. If we want to increase the active power, we have to increase the excitation, or we have to increase the power angle del. That is nothing but we have to increase the excitation of prime mover, keeping the excitation voltage of generator constant. Then and then only we can increase the active power. But if you want to control the reactive power, we have to control the, or we have to keep the prime mover constant, and we have to give increase the excitation voltage of the generator. If the excitation voltage of generator is increases, it increases the reactive power. From the operational point of view, when the generator exciter output increases while holding the prime mover power constant, the rotor current increases. If the current increases, the reactive power increases. As the current increases, the excitation voltage E also increases, causes increase in the generator reactive power output, that is. So there is also small decrease in del required to hold P constant in active power equation. From power flow point of view, an increase in generator excitation corresponding to increase in voltage magnitude at infinite bus to which generator is connected. So the power flow program will compute the increase in reactive power supplied by the generator along with small change in del. The effect of adding shunt capacitor bank to power system bus can be explained by considering Thevenin's equivalent circuit of the system at that bus. This is simply as voltage source VTH in series with impedance Z. The bus voltage V before connecting a capacitor bank is equal to Thevenin's voltage. After the bank is connected, the capacitor current IC leads the bus voltage by 90 degree. We know that when we connect the capacitor, it takes leading var, that is leading current. So current leads the voltage by 90 degree. Before connecting the bus voltage, that is the bus to which the generator is connected, that is V, and VTH is the equivalent or Thevenin's voltage of the generator. When capacitor bank is not connected, then the infinite bus voltage V and the generator voltage VTH are equal. But when we connect the capacitor bank, current leads the voltage by 90 degree. So if we construct the phasor diagram for this condition with capacitor connected to bus, reveals that the infinite bus voltage is greater than VTH. So there are two conditions. before connecting the capacitor bank and after connecting the capacitor bank. Before connecting the capacitor bank, bus voltage and generator voltage are equal. After connecting the capacitor bank, bus voltage becomes greater than generator. From the power flow standpoint, the addition of capacitor bank to load bus corresponds to addition of reactive power source. Since a capacitor produces positive reactive power, that is absorbs the negative reactive power. The power flow program computes the increase in bus voltage magnitude along with small change in del. Similarly, addition of shunt reactor corresponds to addition of positive reactive load, wherein power flow program computes the decreasing in voltage magnitude. So when we add the capacitor bank, we have to take or we have to develop algorithms that it denotes or it can take all the data necessary for computing the power flow from sending side to receiving side. So we have to construct an algorithm where when we add the capacitor bank or when we add the shunt reactor into the system, that algorithm should easily identify the changes in power, whether it absorbs the reactive power or it supplies the reactive powers to the system, and this reactive power mainly depends upon the generator voltage, that is excitation voltage, and power angle del. So our algorithm should be such in a way that it should easily compute the changes in the excitation voltage of generator, and it should compute the power changes angle, that is del. Third method is to connect the tap changing and voltage magnitude regulating transformer used to control the bus voltage as well as reactive power. So we have studied in first point, that is the power flow can be controlled by controlling the prime mover, excitation of generator, by connecting the shunt capacitor, by connecting the tap changing transformer, and by using the fax devices. So one by one we are studying this. When we connect the shunt capacitor, after connecting the shunt reactor, and now the regulating transformer. So when we connect the regulating transformer, it controls the voltages of bus as well as the reactive power flow in the lines. In similar manner, the phase angle regulating transformer are used to control the bus angles as well as real power flows on the line to which they are connected. Both tap changing and regulating transformers are modeled by a transformer with an off nominal turn ratio. So tap changing and regulating transformers are one and the same. They control the voltages of the bus as well as reactive power flow in the transmission line from sending to receiving side or from receiving to. From power flow point of view, change in tap setting or voltage regulation corresponds to change in tap ratio. So in case of tap ratio, we have to change the tap setting and voltage regulation. We know the voltage regulation, that is no load voltage minus full load voltage divided by no load voltage multiplied by 100. It gives the percentage of voltage regulation. So by just controlling the voltage regulation and tap changing, we can change the tap ratio of the transformer, and by changing the tap ratio of transformer, we can change the voltage at the bus or infinite bus, and as well as we can control the reactive power flow in the transmission line. The power flow programs compute the change in Y bus voltage magnitude and angles and branch flow. We know that we have already studied this point in a power system, that is formation of admittance matrix, where we consider the interconnected bus system. In that interconnected bus system, the admittance or impedance of the transmission lines will be given, and using this impedance we have to find out the admittance, or we have to plot or compute the admittance matrix.